So, as I dive in, first of all, I'm not sure how many of you are kind of familiar with working in the aquatic environment. There are a few things which are a little different. In the aquatic environment, you have more one-dimensional movement, meaning you have like a lake, a stream, another lake. And this is the kind of environment these critters can move in, especially fish. I mean, there's obviously some of the amphibians can move in between water bodies or between watersheds, but you kind of have to have this kind of watershed system dividing the landscape idea in mind when you think about managing them. As long as humans don't move them, these two fish are worlds away. They might be on the landscape 10 kilometers apart, but because they drain in two different oceans, they will never see each other. Picture of a boat which been sitting in a lake. You got freshwater zebra mussels growing on that boat, and now is on the way to another lake. And this is obviously an excellent way to move non-native species between lakes and between watersheds, which normally wouldn't be connected. Another issue is the movement of organisms attached to waders, fishing gears, or any kind of water, which might be in live wells of boats. Fortunately, their use is illegal in BC and the Great Lakes region. These things spread all sorts of things because in the water you can have larval stages of mussels, zooplankton. On waders you can have very small, like New Zealand mud snail, or the invasive freshwater algae we have here, Didymo or rock snot, more commonly called. Then we also have intentional releases, which is, I guess, similar to some of the stuff you see in the plant environment. Then we have the live fish market, which is very big, in particular in Vancouver. Live fish coming all over the world, from all over the world here, being sold alive. People take them home alive. Again, if they're eaten, that's fine, but if they get released, it's a problem. And within 2-3 kilometers from this hotel, you can buy northern snakehead alive in a Chinese supermarket. So that's a big concern. So I'm dealing with plants, fish, mollusks, other invertebrates, algae, anything that's in the aquatic environment. And we put a new database together, a GIS-based database, which hopefully is going to be publicly available by the end of 2011, depending how quick I can get it through the government world and get approval to put it in the public space. It's just the world we live in. We have 3 invertebrates, 2 mussels, two snails, sorry. One is a New Zealand mud snail. And a particular favorite of mine, which just shows the randomness of modern world, we also have a Asian freshwater jellyfish in some of our lakes. I don't know how it got here, but it is here. So yeah, you must treasure these things. And we have 2 turtles and 1 algae, the algae being Didymo or rod snot. A lot of the blue dots around Vancouver Island, the fish is Atlantic salmon being found in freshwater streams, but otherwise we obviously have the plants, and a lot of the more weird and wonderful ones are in the lower mainland, kind of Victoria area. And just as you go through also the timeline issue, yesterday we heard people talking about, you know, how as human can move more and everything gets transported faster, things move faster, and just this is introduced fish, because we have the best data for that time-wise, by 1950, by 1980, and this is by 2010. So you quite nice see how everything gets more and more introduced. So the problem isn't getting any less, but where is it? So just very quickly, I don't want to talk much about policy. It's not very exciting normally, but around fish, at least, the BC Ministry of Environment has some pretty good policy, newly introduced fish population. If we can, we will try to eradicate them. Otherwise, we try to control them or contain them. And part of our public just wants this certain type of fishery like bass, and by providing them a few opportunities, we hope we reduce the risk of future illegal introductions. As I mentioned, like my mandate is kind of expanding from that. So to run you through a couple of the fin examples of the talk, northern pike is one species which, while native to northeastern BC and most of the kind of eastern North America and the Great Lakes area, it's not native to southern BC or central BC. But I want to focus you to the point on the right there with the red circle around. That's Haha Lake, where someone introduced pike illegally. The regional fish biologists found out about it, and it was in the mid-90s, and through extensive gill netting, they were actually able to hammer the species. They pulled out 6 adults. They seem to have caught them before they reproduced, and they haven't caught any since, and I applied for some more money for this year to see if we actually got rid of them. So that's one little success story where we got rid of something. Another one, which is really big, yellow perch is a predator fish, eats a lot of small fish. It's found in a number of lakes and river environments. So this here is Adams Lake, and Probably a lot of you have heard about the Adams River sockeye run, which this year was the biggest on history. So there's millions of fish relying on Adams Lake. And this year is Shuswap Lake, which is another really important salmon rearing lake. And all these little dots around it are where people introduce yellow perch. So that kind of triggered the Ministry of Environment into action to start an eradication program here. And it's kind of 10 lakes where these were introduced, small lakes around that area. And basically over 5 years, they were treated with pesticide. The compound used is rotenol. It's, as far as stuff that kills stuff, it's pretty harmless. It's plant-based, it's biodegradable, it only kills things with gills, so even if there are amphibians or turtles in the water, as long as they're air breathing by that stage, they're okay. It's non-toxic to mammals, etc. I quickly also want to talk about something that's not here, zebra and quagga mussel, and that's a real concern for us. Ecological impact on pelagic fish, meaning your salmonids are going to get hammered. Native mussels, you see in the bottom right a picture how the zebra mussels overgrow the native mussels. Also get extirpated. You have increase in pelagic bacteria, including toxic cyanobacteria blooms. So these things, they're called ecosystem engineers. They change the whole ecosystem in lakes. And they also have really serious ecological impacts because they're foul structures. On the bottom left, you see like an intake pipe which got clogged by zebra and quagga mussels. And this will affect any raw water intake, let it be industrial, let it be in a power station, let it be a municipal water supply, let it be a farmer pulling water in from a lake. It's very costly, and prevention is obviously key, but zebra and quagga mussel is the kind of worst next alien to come in on the aquatic side for us, and we work across borders to deal with that issue because that's the only effective way to deal with it. And obviously if the IPC, or when the IPC will expand into invasive species, I think there will be a great opportunity to do a lot of work on aquatic invasives as well. So that's it. Thank you very much.